Hi, I'm Chris Nowicki.
And I'm Mia Quick. Welcome to Saint Rose Television.
Albany has lost two independently owned movie theaters within just 2 days of each other. After 50 years, Landmark Spectrum A Theater announced that they will be closing on February 29th. Landmark Theaters was known for showing art films, leaving a gap for Albany art film lovers. Just a day later, Madison Theater announced that it will be shutting their doors on February 25th. Owner Kevin Parisi told the Times-Union the decision to close was because of his other real estate ventures, not because of financial struggles or Saint Rose closing.
Representatives from UAlbany and Russell Sage have added transfer advisement appointments for students that are interested in meeting with admissions. Appointments with representatives from UAlbany will be on February 12th through February 28th. Appointments with representatives from Russell Sage will be on February 27th and 29th and March 27th and 29th. You can sign up for appointments at a link on In the Know.
3 schools have been added to the Teach Out program. Lemoyne College, Iona University, and Albany College of Pharmaceuticals now bring the total undergraduate programs up to 8 and graduate programs to 10. 4 undergraduate majors still have no Teach Out partners, while several other majors have 1 or 2 Teach Out schools. For more information on accepted programs, check out the Teach Out page on Canvas. The Sanctuary is offering activities to help students stay positive in this final semester. Field reporter Maria Rivera talked to director Joan Horgan about how the Sanctuary continues to be a safe haven for students.
Thank you. For many years, the Sanctuary has been a place where people can come and have a safe space. We are here today to learn about some of the activities that the Sanctuary offers students to connect, relax, and have some fun.
It's a space that was created so that people from all different beliefs could come together and have a quiet space, especially students on campus, to make sure that they didn't just have a Catholic chapel, although that's part of our history and heritage. They wanted students from all beliefs to have a place to call home, that they could pray, that they could just relax, that they could come into the garden and just breathe for a minute. And then also folks who don't have particular beliefs, people who don't ascribe to one religion or another, that they could come to a yoga class or, again, play the piano or sit in the garden and know that this was their spot too, that they weren't excluded from that. Traditionally we've had yoga classes every week, and they continue. And so that's a place that we hope people kind of take time to stop and to breathe and to move and to just really check in with how they're doing. And especially in these stressful times, we need that time to just stop for a minute. No, we're okay. We might have strong feelings about one thing or another, but we're still fine. We're going to get through this. We also have these groups on happiness that we've run for many years now, that I started quite a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And they mean something different right now. It's in fact, I put on the promotional flyer, like happiness with a question mark. Sometimes we go through something really hard and difficult. We're like, what are you talking about? But it's still possible to figure out, how do I enjoy life? How do I create satisfaction? How do I create meaning? And so people can come to those anytime. They're like a drop. And Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 3 o'clock downstairs, we have some food and we hang out and just address different ways of bringing some form of happiness or feeling better into our lives.
Joan explained how important it is to allow ourselves to feel our emotions, as many times we try to hide or avoid them. And at the same time, it is also important to look for those things that have meaning and that make us happy.
I think it helps for all of us to remember that there is something after things fall apart. On the altar, we have a whole bunch of hearts and stars and little moon shapes, and I've been inviting students to take one to leave behind when they go, in a special place to them, and to take one with them. So that'll be here throughout this semester, so people can figure out, maybe it'll be easier when the ground is not frozen if they have something they want to bury somewhere, but to take one of each, one to carry forward and one to leave behind, to kind of create like a little ritual about, the time here at Saint Rose, and especially for all of us as we transition away from this really beloved space and all of its Saint Rose quirkiness that we've all come to love and care about.
Joan talked about her experience here at Saint Rose.
I've just loved the 30 years I've gotten to spend here, and all the different students I've gotten to meet, even for a few minutes over a project, or to get to know that's part of what's this quiet specialness about this college, are the students that come here, that choose this place, that continue in their little ways and big ways to embody the mission, but also just to be the great humans that they are. And so I think everyone's going to miss that, and we have to let ourselves miss that.
This semester, the Sanctuary would also like to try to do an Inspire concert, which would be an open mic so people could play, sing, or read poems that inspire them. They would also like to possibly start a cooking class on Fridays.
So sometimes we work on our thinking. Sometimes we'll read an article, look at a video. We have just conversations about our goals. What do we want to accomplish? How do we make other people's worlds better? How do we ground ourselves when we're under stress? How do we deal with sadness or anger? So it's like every week's a little bit different. Sometimes we're doing drawing or art projects, or sometimes we're having a conversation just about a different theme for the week. Maybe the main thing that people like is that they get to know each other and they're kind of with people talking in real time. We're not on our phones, we're just having a conversation. And especially right now, that can be important for folks to feel like somebody sees you, hears you, knows where you're at this week. And so people are always welcome to drop in. So it's an open invite.
So you can come down to the sanctuary to do homework, relax, think, or talk with someone. And remember to check out the Happiness and Yoga Club. And also remember, you are not alone. Gracias. Por muchos años, el santuario ha sido un lugar en donde los estudiantes pueden venir a tener un espacio seguro. Hoy estamos aquí para aprender acerca de algunas actividades que los estudiantes pueden hacer en el santuario para relajarse, conectarse y divertirse. Es un espacio que fue creado para que las personas de todas las creencias pudieran venir juntas y tener un espacio silencioso, especialmente los estudiantes en la universidad, para asegurarse de que no solo tuvieran una capilla católica, aunque esa es parte de nuestra historia de herencia. Querían que los estudiantes de todas las creencias tuvieran un lugar el cual llamar hogar, que puedan rezar, relajarse, venir al jardín y solo respirar por un minuto. Y también personas que no tengan creencias específicas, personas que no se adhieren a una religión u otra, que ellos puedan venir a una clase de yoga, tocar el piano o sentarse en el jardín y saber que este también es su lugar y que no estaban excluidos de eso. Realmente hemos tenido clases de yoga todas las semanas y esas continúan. Entonces, ese es un lugar que nosotros esperamos que las personas tomen tiempo para parar y respirar y moverse y solo en realidad chequear cómo se sienten. Y especialmente en estos momentos estresantes, nosotros necesitamos ese tiempo para solo parar un momento, saber que estamos bien. Puede que tengamos sentimientos fuertes sobre una cosa o la otra, pero todavía estamos bien. Vamos a superar esto. Nosotros también tenemos grupos de felicidad que hemos tenido por mucho tiempo y yo empecé hace bastantes años, casi alrededor de 6 años, y el grupo significa algo diferente en este momento. Yo puse en el papel promocional felicidad con un signo de pregunta, porque a veces pasamos por algo muy duro y difícil y decimos, ¿cómo de qué estás hablando? Pero todavía es posible averiguar cómo disfruto la vida, cómo creo satisfacción, cómo creo significado. Entonces, los estudiantes pueden venir a esos en cualquier momento, martes y miércoles a las 3 de la tarde abajo. Tenemos un poco de comida y nos acompañamos y hablamos de diferentes maneras de traer alguna forma de felicidad o sentirse mejor a nuestras vidas. John explica cómo es importante permitirnos sentir nuestras emociones, ya que muchas veces tratamos de esconder o evitarlas. Y a la misma vez también es importante buscar esas cosas que tengan significado y que nos hagan feliz. Yo creo que nos ayuda a todos recordar que sí hay algo después de que las cosas se desmoronen. En el altar tenemos un montón de corazones, estrellas y pequeñas formas de luna. He estado invitando a los estudiantes a tomar uno para dejar atrás cuando vayan a ese lugar especial para ellos y que se lleven otro con ellos. Entonces, esto estará acá por todo el semestre. De pronto sea más fácil cuando la tierra no esté congelada, si quieren enterrarlo en algún lugar, pero para tener uno de cada uno para llevar hacia adelante y otro para dejar atrás, como para crear un pequeño ritual acerca del tiempo acá en Saint Rose, y especialmente para todos nosotros mientras nos transferimos de este amado espacio y toda su peculiaridad de Saint Rose, que todos hemos llegado a amar y a importar. John habló sobre su experiencia acá en Saint Rose. Yo he amado los 30 años que he pasado aquí y todos los diferentes estudiantes que he podido conocer, así haya sido por unos minutos, por un proyecto o poder conocer que eso es parte de este silencio especial de esta universidad. Son los estudiantes que vienen aquí, que escogen este lugar, que continúan en sus maneras pequeñas y en maneras grandes de ver la misión, pero también para ser los grandes seres humanos que son. Entonces yo creo que todos van a extrañar eso y nos debemos dejar extrañar eso. Este semestre el santuario también le gustaría tratar de hacer un concierto de inspiración, en el cual habría un micrófono disponible para que las personas puedan tocar, cantar o leer poemas que los inspiran. También les gustaría posiblemente empezar una clase de culinaria los viernes. Entonces, hay veces trabajamos en nuestros pensamientos, leemos un artículo, miramos un video, tenemos conversaciones sobre nuestras metas, qué queremos lograr, cómo hacemos el mundo de los demás mejor, cómo nos ayudamos cuando tenemos estrés, cómo lidiamos con tristeza o rabia. Entonces, cada semana es un poco diferente. A veces estamos haciendo proyectos de dibujo o arte, o a veces estamos teniendo una conversación solo acerca de un tema diferente para la semana. La cosa principal que le gusta a la gente es que pueden conocerse y estar con gente hablando en tiempo real. No estamos en nuestros teléfonos, solo estamos teniendo una conversación. Y especialmente en este momento, eso puede ser importante para las personas. Sentir que alguien te ve, te escucha, sabe cómo estás esta semana. Entonces las personas siempre están bienvenidas a venir. Es una invitación abierta. Entonces, puedes venir al santuario para hacer tareas, relajarte, pensar o hablar con alguien. Y recuerden chequear el Happiness Club y el Club de Yoga. Y también recuerden, no están solos.
Thanks, Maria. Make sure to check out next week's edition of the Chronicle to learn where the Cold Case Analysis Center will be calling its new home from next fall. The City of Albany's Department of Recreation is hosting an Arbor Hill Skate Night with a live DJ at the Arbor Hill Community Center on February 23rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. People of all ages are welcome to attend.
Ty Mulcahy gives us an update on the latest Golden Knights in sports, with recaps of basketball, swimming, and the early start of the lacrosse season.
A lot of sports action has been happening as of late as sports have picked back up over the last week. Men's lacrosse racked up their first win of the season in a convincing outing against the University of Bridgeport, winning 21-5 on Sunday. This puts the Golden Knights on an even 1-1 record to start their 2024 year. Cam Smith netted 6 goals in the effort, and sophomore Noah Gibson was also a key performer, scoring a hat trick and dishing out 2 assists. The men will take on Post University at home on February 25th at noon. Both track teams made the trip to Boston, Massachusetts this past weekend for the NE10 Indoor Championships. Reese Casanelli delivered the performance of the weekend, finishing second in the 400-meter race. Casanelli beat the program record with a 48.42 second race. His score also met the provisional qualifying time for the national championships. On the women's side, Emma Crahan posted her personal best in the shot put event, coming up just short of the finals with a 10.26-meter throw. Both teams begin their outdoor season in a couple of weeks at Wesleyan University. Taking a deep dive into the world of swimming, here are a few notable results from the swimming and diving teams. James Henriquez has been on a tear this year. The senior finished first in the men's 50-yard freestyle with a final time of 20.42 seconds. James also finished third in the men's 100-yard butterfly. Baseball commenced their season in North Carolina this past weekend. The weekend featured 2 doubleheaders for the baseball team against Mercy and Goldie Beacom. The Knights were able to win both of their contests against Mercy, but dropped both games against Goldie Beacom. Senior Thomas Mark was key in their first win, providing 4 scoreless innings while allowing just 1 base runner. Toms, Venditti, and Farina also hit home runs over the weekend. The Golden Knights head back to North Carolina for the first weekend of March to play 2 more doubleheaders against Chestnut Hill and West Virginia. Both basketball teams suffered a loss against Bentley at home on Sunday. Despite the loss, freshman Christian Pierre-Louis was named the Freshman of the Week in the NE10. Both teams look to use their last couple regular season games to build some momentum going into the playoffs. The men and women both take on the New Haven Chargers Saturday at home. This will be the final regular season games ever played in the Daniel P. Nolan Gymnasium and will likely be Brian Bury's and the men's basketball team's last home game in Saint Rose history. The women will be playing at 1 and the men's game is at 3:30. I'm Ty with sports.
The Brook Mansion is open Friday through Sunday every week. Students can book tours and appointments through the website, with tours only costing $4 per student. Now with next week's weather is Lucy Burns.
Hi, I'm Lucy Burns with the weather for the coming week. For Thursday and Friday, you can expect cloudy skies with a chance of rain. The temperatures will be warming up slightly from what we've had. It will drop below freezing again Saturday, with temperatures getting down into the teens and strong winds, making it feel colder. It warms up again into the 40s on Sunday. It stays that way the rest of next week, even getting up into the 50s on Tuesday and Wednesday. But the warm temperatures come with a chance of rain Tuesday through Thursday, so don't forget an umbrella. We probably won't see the sun again until Friday of next week, with temps in the high 40s to low 50s, taking us into spring break. Thank you. Back to you, Mia.
Thanks, Lucy. Visit the New York State Museum Tuesday through Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Students can get in free of charge with a student ID. The highly anticipated sequel of Dune, starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, is set to release on March 1st. Regal Crossgates will be showing Dune, Part 2 of its release. Here with our regular segment of entertainment is Amir Galban with Real Reviews, where he discusses the 25th anniversary of the release of the groundbreaking HBO series The Sopranos.
It's been 25 years since the iconic Mafia TV show The Sopranos aired. The show was such a big deal that it created water cooler buzz, where everybody in the office gathered on Mondays to talk about the previous night's episode. The show was created by David Chase and featured the late James Gandolfini, who passed away in 2013. The consistency and quality of plot twists, character development, and violence keep the fans interested to this day. We get to experience what life is like for Tony Soprano, the New Jersey boss of a small mob family. Tony juggles running both his mob family and his actual family throughout the series, giving viewers a unique perspective beyond the usual mob stereotypes. Each character has their own unique storylines that intertwine with each other. Through the twists and turns, Tony Soprano proves to be the most dynamic anti-hero on TV. Despite his villainous actions, Tony remains a compelling and sympathetic character that you can't help but root for. In his therapy sessions, viewers are drawn into Tony's mind and can see the depth behind the character. Some notable characters are Silvio Dante, played by Steven Van Zandt, Tony's consigliere. Tony's nephew, Christopher Moltisanti, is played by Michael Imperoli. Chris has one of the best character arcs in the series, starting with his attempt to break into Hollywood with screenwriting to his struggles with heroin and finding his father's killer. Christopher delivers many extraordinary performances and stayed a fan favorite even throughout his setbacks. This show is the godfather of television. There is still the touching theme of honor and loyalty among family. Controversial issues are discussed, such as terrorism, social inequality and injustice, drugs, homosexuality, and racism. A prime example is when Tony's daughter, Menno Soprano, played by Jamie Lynn Sigler, brings an African-American college boyfriend home to meet the parents. This show set the standard for television and helped usher in what has been the golden age of television with high-quality streaming series. Tony Soprano remains one of the greatest characters on one of the greatest shows to ever hit the screen. If you have never seen The Sopranos, it is well worth watching. And even if you have, the series holds up well to watching again, as you'll miss many things you missed the first time around.
That's all for Saint Rose Television. We will be back with our next episode after spring break. I'm Chris Nowicki.
And I'm Mia Quick. Thanks for watching SRTV.